Hello. Good morning. Happy boom boom day. There have been a lot of boom booms in my area. America's birthday. So yeah, yesterday I was working on this area problem, which was a lot of fun. And I enjoyed it a lot. And we kind of got it finished for the most part, which is awesome. Honestly. It's kind of crazy. We did that all in one day. But now we need to work on actually meshifying it. Because that's how we're going to get the overlaps and stuff. And I'm going to probably need to do some testing and stuff. To make sure that the meshify thing is actually worth it. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. So let me show you what I mean. And I did a little bit more work on this after the stream yesterday. And I actually got the mesh to like show up. It's not correct though. Yeah, it's a little off. But yeah, it's actually like it runs a lot faster than I thought it would. Oh, weird. And it's also creating a mesh in the sky. Interesting. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, this is what we're working on today. This is it. Right now, it looks like some sort of like Star Trek 3D printer. Yeah, the appended boxes are not... They look like they're overlapping and stuff, so they're not like quite proper. Not quite proper. Okay, so I do like this method that I'm doing, so I'm gonna get rid of some of the old code that I was doing. This one yielded better results. Oh, I already did get rid of it, okay. Okay, let me see what else could be wrong here, because the scale, the location was off, so I did a subtraction on the actor location to get it into relative coordinate space. And then I suppose we divide by scale to get it smaller. Now, if I don't do that, I think it's huge. I believe it's huge. And then one of these things... Oh, it's taking the scale of... Ooh, it's taking the scale of the area actor. Yeah, we probably don't want the scale to be, like, inherited like that. But I think it just inherently will be. But we do divide by scale. So I would have thought that that would do that. Do I also need the dimensions divided by scale? Because I think we just have a bunch of overlapping boxes here. So let's do .x, .y, .z here. Is that right? So we're going to divide the location by scale and then also the... You know, this append box function, I guess it's not the most convenient for what I'm using it for. And I don't know what steps means in the function signature. It does not have parameter documentation. Okay. So I just made a bunch of little dots. Those are quite tiny, but they do actually, they seem to be in the right location, actually. Those do seem to be in the right location. Let's settle it on the ground there. Yeah, those are, yeah, those are like, maybe they're not in like the exact vertical center. But the location is correct now. Okay, so what freaking... What freaking dimension do I need to like put here? It does need to be very small. I wonder if we just do like something here. Let me comment these ones out. Let's just do something like 0.5. We'll just try to like manually figure out what they need to be. Oh, Dungeon Noodles, hello there. Why is my chat not working? Why have you not shown up? Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. Okay, hello, welcome in. Good morning. Okay, 0.5, too big. 0.25. We're just guessing and checking here, just to get an idea of what the math may need to be. We're just working on extending the functionality from yesterday and getting it meshed. Okay, so 0.25. There's still some overlap. Imran, welcome in. Good morning. 0.25. I mean, like, what's 0.1? 0.1. I thought it would have been needed to be divided by the scale. Oh, I wonder if it's like scale and then something to do with the voxel size. I need to do something with voxel size, I think. Is it starting to turn into my comfort stream? Well, hell yeah, I'm glad you're comforted by my stream. I am happy to hear that. Okay, so now we're getting back into the right scale. The music is nice and cozy, though. I love me some nice lo-fi in the background, you know? Yeah, what do I think voxel size needs to be incorporated here somehow. I get actual location minus the voxel location divided by scale divided by voxel size. And then do ones here. Was that right? Oh, well, that would just be, that's just the location. So maybe 1 divided by voxel size for the dimensions. So undo, yeah, that one's not gonna be right. Run it back. That looks crazy. Okay. How complex are voxels to set up? I mean, a voxel is just like, it's just a step size in 3D space. That's all it is. So there can be as little setup as that, which is kind of what I use them for. It's just a step size. I'm just calling a point in 3D space a voxel because it's like a step at a uniform resolution. So like, you don't actually have to set anything up, really. It's more about just they call it a voxel, just, it's like a way to think about it, right? Like, this is how I get a voxel. And it could just be as easy as using this grid snap method. I just have some additional logic in there for my use case. So you can just grid snap to a voxel resolution, and you're there, right? And then you can store this vector in like some data structure if you wanted to, and append some more data onto it if you wanted to give your voxels meaning and whatnot, and who's he what's it. Okay, so those are like rectangles now. Those are rectangles. Now, why is that? Should I try to put scale in the transform? I feel like no, that might be a little too complicated. A little too complicado. 1 divided by voxel size. Now, I did the 1 divided by scale. And let's just pop that into a vector here. Make it a little prettier. Let me go back to this one, because this one seemed like okay. Okay. Take me back here. Okay, that's not what I had before. Wait, why is that different now? Okay, interesting. Interesting. Looks like I've created like a mesh line trace. Interesting. Okay, so let me look at the... What was the scale on this guy? Let me actually like move and stuff too. Restart this just to make sure. Okay, yeah, that's it ain't right. Okay, scale 200, 175 by 4.95. I thought I was just doing this and I got a different result. Let me look at this real quick. And then what is steps? What is steps here? If steps XYZ are 0, can use trivial box generator. Okay, maybe they should be 0. Maybe is that an issue that I have? I did ones. I thought that would mean like how many boxes we're using. And I just wanted one box. Well, we'll try 0 and see what happens there. Welcome in though, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. We're continuing a little bit of the work we did. Okay, nothing changed. Nothing changed at all. So that did nothing for me. Okay. We're continuing some of the work we did on the area functionality from yesterday. Like we're basically voxelizing. We're doing like a voxel walk algorithm, I guess we can call it, like a little recursion breadth first search for defining an area in 3D space. And it was a little complicated because we need to like make sure that the player is defining the space and it is defined the way they're expecting it to. And when you have all these like overhangs and all this convex collision and all these underground caves and tunnels and stuff, there's a lot of edge cases that you have to handle. But I think we've got a pretty good solution here. Yeah, so steps max 0, 0, which is just 0. So edge vertices is like 0. Grid box generator. Then we get this box with a min and max of negative dimension divided by 2. Okay, so the dimension, I actually think, is it voxel size divided by scale? Is that the answer? Scale.x. X. Is that the answer? Or maybe I need to flip those. Scale divided by voxel size. That seems like it might be too big of a number. Because it needs to be less than 1. Oh dear. Okay, what do we have here? Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, the Z scale. Is the X and Y scale even correct? What an interesting... The step size of 1 even, does that change anything? Magic, yeah. You know, with just a small amount of code, I can turn things into something completely not useful. Okay, yeah, so the step size 0 to 1 doesn't really change anything. So let's just keep that at 0 then. So that was voxel size divided by scale. What are what are my other options here for oh, I did get actor locate. Oh, that's why that's wrong. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, no wonder. No wonder. Glad I looked at that. Yeah, that was all wrong. That was all wrong. And that's why it didn't look the same as what I thought. More math seems the other option. Oh, what is this? Oh, look at that, baby. Boom. Nailed it. Nailed it. What were you saying, Turning Cog? Were you doubting me? Welcome in, though, Cog. Oh, interesting. 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 GG, thank you. Thank you. Hello, hope you're having a good programming session so far. Just joined. I am. Well, you joined just in time for me to figure it out. So it must have been your presence that did the trick. But welcome in, Noor. Noor. One of the above, I hope. Minecraft style voxels. So here's what here's the complicated part, right? Let me find a nice hump. Here we go. That's a nice looking hump. Okay. So here's the complicated part. Right, I need it to follow the terrain. And it kind of does. But this is just how we're going to check for overlaps in here, right? Because there could be, you see the bounding box, the outer blue box is like the naive approach, but that naive approach has side effects. So there could be, in my actual world, there could be like an underground cave here, right? And what these areas are going to be used for is the player's going to say like, hey, colonists, stay within this area, or go chop trees in this area, go forage for food in this area, you know, maybe stay out of this area. And if they unknowingly select a cave under here, that could be dangerous. They're going to send their colonists there on accident and they're going to die. That's going to feel really bad to the player. And they're going to hate the game. We don't want that. We don't want that. So we need it to like follow the terrain and then also be like pathable, basically. But without using an actual nav mesh, because the nav mesh isn't on every single section of the terrain. And we need to meshify it, which are what these upper boxes are, the actual mesh. The lower ones are just debug boxes. But then we build it into a dynamic mesh, and then we're going to check for overlaps so that we can get like all of the trees that the colonists can chop, right? We can just get check overlaps or something, you know. That's the whole point. Maybe I can show the world here a little bit. It'll also give us quite a bit more testing examples. So yeah, let's do that. So working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. This a sensor. What do you mean by sensor? But this is going to be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain. Oh, I didn't even turn on my my zoomy boy, my little zoomy button. There we go. So yeah, procedural terrain. There we go. We're in the world. So yeah, there's some voxels, but I guess our mesh ones are not. The Z is not correct, it seems. Yeah, the Z is off. But here's all the underground caves and stuff I was talking about. So you don't want to like accidentally select one of those. I do plan on them being slightly more dangerous than the outer world. But that is the procedural terrain. So yeah, let's figure out the Z on these boys. Should probably turn off mob spawns because that's just gonna. My performance is just gonna dip because of that. So why is the Z location is off? Z location is off. Why would that be? We got the scale. We can clear that out. Linco, welcome in. Never understood how open world games like Elden Ring or Far Cry is done. Are things just not spawned until the player gets close, but then the terrain is always there? Yeah, so my game's quite a bit different. It's like all procedural. So like truly like my terrain is not there. It's not generated yet. But their terrain is like baked in those open world games. It's baked. So it's like saved to disk, and here we go. Nice. This is why I shouldn't have spawned. This is why I shouldn't have spawned actors, NPCs. But baked means like it actually takes the landscape and like puts it onto the disk rather than in memory. And then yeah, there's different LODs, like Turning Cog is saying. And so when you see the terrain off in the distance, it's not loading the full terrain, it's loading like a very low resolution version of it that takes up less memory. And yeah, for NPCs and stuff like that, things just aren't, they're not spawned, they're not running, right? For my game, I'm making an ECS system, which is it's a type of framework. I wrote an ECS system, which is just like a type of framework to efficiently run a bunch of entities at a time, like thousands and thousands. And so I'm planning to like try and have my whole world online, or at least as much as possible. And that comes with a lot of challenges. So I'm trying to do things differently than those games do. Can you say hello to me? No. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, let's figure this out. That actually meshed quite nicely, didn't it? They're still off though. We should have more than that. Oh my god, it has collision. I didn't even realize that. He just walked up on it. Wait, does it? That was weird. The nav mesh doesn't care about it. Oh my god, it does have collision on it. That's so funny. I wonder if the velocity processor like steps them up on there, I guess. It's so crazy. The velocity processor is working. It's working. I'm not gonna say your name. You're like being weird about it. Okay, yeah, so the Z is off. I'm not saying your guys' names. Notice me, senpai, basically. Yeah, don't be weird about it. Don't be weird. You can say hello. I'm happy to say hi back. Yes, yeah, so why is the Z off? Why is the Z off? Because the scale Z doesn't necessarily... I don't think the scale Z necessarily represents... Because that's like the box, the bounding box scale. It's not necessarily the voxel scale, right? Because like it's based off of the placed location, right? So I think I need to incorporate that in here somehow. His name means a curse word in Arabic. Yeah, I knew it was some stupid shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, so the voxels are based on the 2D like box, X and Y, but then the Z is based off of like wherever I started it, which would have been over here. Which is why the well, it would have been, yeah, it's like in the middle. Oh, do I need to subtract? I think, do I just need to subtract the half size? Well, no, because that one's off too. Because they should all be flat here. They should all be flat there. Okay. So how are we going to get these boxes to behave? Voxel size divided by scale, and then the place location. Oh, Ryder is being so laggy right now. Well, okay, hang on. We're gonna restart this. We're gonna restart that. Let's turn off entities. Don't spawn mobs. Standard landmass and Unreal collapses triangles further from the player. Didn't know it's streamed from disk. I was just talking about like the baked technique in general. Like the person who asked was asking about spawning. I was like, yeah, a lot of things are just like baked to where, you know, they get streamed in and stuff like that. Bro, I want to build my own game engine. Is this a good idea? You are game dev, so you can suggest. If you have to ask, then no. If you have to ask, then no. It's not a good idea. Because it's very complicated. Yeah, I mean, he may just want to do it for learning purposes, which is a valid case, right? Why are we blinking? We might just be creating them too fast and slow here. Let's just pause. Oh shit, but then I can't see the debug guys. But yeah, building your own engine's quite complicated. By all means, go for it. But you know, you should already know whether or not it's a good idea because of how complicated it is. But if you just want to make games, just use one of the off-the-shelf game engines. Not saying not that you can't do it. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, if you're at that level, you shouldn't need to ask whether or not you should do it, right? And if you're asking, that means you're kind of like not at that level. But don't let me discourage you by any means. Yeah, you will at least learn some things for sure. Okay, play. God, I wish they were not blinking. Let's try a different one. Hasty, welcome in. Welcome back. Okay, so I turned off the spawns and now they're like blinking and shit. Okay, here we go. Oh, weird. Oh no, there they are. Okay, so yeah, the Z is entirely off. Is it also... It's flipped upside down, too. It's like backwards. Because this flat part is supposed to be down here. I think it's blinking because the line trace is hitting this. Hang on, can I turn collision off? Turn collision off on this guy. Can you do that? It says no collision. Okay, now everything, it's all fucked up, okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's blinking so much. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't clear it up front. We're like resetting the dynamic mesh. Dynamic mesh. We certainly should not reset it afterwards. Maybe I should make a temporary mesh. Let's do a temporary mesh here. Temp mesh, we'll do that. Temp mesh. There's not like a copy, is there? But I could probably just set it equal to the temp mesh. That needs to be outside the for loop, of course. I can type temp mesh equals that. Clear async flags, because we may do this on the background, then we'll just set it. Then we'll just set it. And honestly, at this point, we don't even need to check validity of the mesh anymore, because we're not actually calling any functions on it. Okay, let's try that. Maybe that'll help with the blinking. Okay, we try. Okay, it's an issue with the line trace, I guess, actually. Because now my mesh is just not even showing up. Okay, yeah, that method did not work for some reason. I feel like that should work. I actually don't need to check for validity either way, other than right here, I suppose. Because that'll check. Okay, so we'll just go back to the normal way to do it. The line trace is messing up though, so that's the weird part. It has nothing to do with the mesh. Why does that happen? Oh, I'm not resetting. I'm only oops. Okay, I do need to do this. But anyways, yeah, the Z, I think the location's off and the scale might be off as well. The Z scale. Actually, the Z scale is correct. It's just the location. Honestly, these might need to be flipped. I think I maybe did the location backwards. What if I did this? What if I did this? Would that flip it the right way? I should maybe turn the decal off as well, because that's kind of annoying. Honestly, maybe don't even show the decal. Show the just show the mesh to the player. Oh, now we're fucking cooking. Oh, that looks actually perfect now. If only it would stop blinking. There we go. They're off by half. They are off by a half size. Okay, so we just need to move them down by half. Now, are they centered though? Like they're on the right, X and Y is correct? Yeah, seems to be. Seems to be correct. So I guess just like the translation. Divided by scale, and then what? Just like subtract voxel half size. Well, that I would need to just subtract it from the Z. It feels weird, but fuck it, we'll do it. Vector relative location minus equal dot Z minus equals voxel half size. We don't have voxel size, so voxel size divided by 2. Okay, so we'll just pop that in here. You can't do that. Read. Okay, I think this is right. I think we got it. Excuse me. I think we got it though. Okay, they're gone. Oh, okay, yeah, that was too much. That was too much. That was too much. Now, because it's not relative, that's why. It's not relative, so... Thank you, Dungeon Noodles, thank you. What are you working on today? We're trying to finish up the area system that I'm trying to build here, where you can define areas in the world in 3D space with like no side effects or anything. And so we're kind of doing a voxel approach to that. And I'm trying to get the mesh built properly to represent that. The blue boxes are our debug boxes, and then here's the actual mesh that we're trying to build and show. Yeah, so I just need to minus actor location. I mean, I guess I just voxel size divided by 2 divided by scale. And then do I need to put... I think maybe, is that it? Do I just need to divide it by scale first? Is that it? That's it. We did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Okay, let's go play with it. Go play with our new toy. Let's find a nice cave. Okay. Well, oh, yeah, we can go down here, maybe. Let's see. Start like up there. Oh, because it's too that. Yeah, we need to do some validity on the start voxel, because sometimes it's too steep. Yeah, the start voxel. Yeah, we need to change the way the start voxel works, because sometimes it's too steep. So that's some work we need to do there. But look at that. And then whatever this blinking line trace is, we need to fix that too. Yeah, let's fix the fucking blinking. Look at that. That's fucking sick. Are there some inside here too? Oh no, we skipped some. Interesting. Because it was too steep, I presume? Yeah, because it was basically like straight down right there. Okay. So it's a little lossy on like very steep slopes. I think that's okay. I mean, like, the player would never try to like really define an area that's meaningful, you know, in a way like that. I think what's the worst that could happen? There's like a little tiny mushroom growing out of the side of the wall that can't get picked or something. I think that would be like the downside. Yeah, because like, how would you define... Oh, shit. I forgot I have like mushrooms on the ceilings and shit. Like, how would you define like, hey, collect all this, like, because these all are all wood. Should we do underhangs too? Overhangs? For that reason? Maybe. Shit, okay. That makes things a little more difficult if we do that. And why weren't these ones here? Oh, because it's the center. Yeah. Well, we're also doing a slightly larger voxel size than we would actually. So yeah, it's a little lossy. I wonder if I should do a box trace. Yeah, I should do a box trace. I should do a box trace against the ground. Maybe if you start the voxel on the ceiling trace. Yeah, I think we just need to fix the back face culling issue, and then we can do ceilings. But anyways, the blinking thing is the most annoying thing right now. The blinking. And so that's because... Is it in calculate area transform? Well, no, it would be in like the building component. Yeah, because here's where we get all like the line traces and stuff. Oh, I wonder if I'm hitting the build collision of the building area. I wonder if that's what's happening. Yeah, this should be defaulted to none when it's in blueprint mode, right? Do I do that? I forget if I do that. God, there's so many fucking functions open. There's like a collision thing I do, right? If I can type correctly. Update collision. Yeah, if it's a blueprint, it shouldn't have any. So let's check in game, I suppose. Area. Oh god, why did that zoom me so far out? Here's my area. The box collision. Dynamic mesh has no collision. Build collision is set to overlap all. And if I change it, the whole game, the whole thing breaks. So it's not blinking really, but I'm guessing that's the issue. I don't know why I stopped right there. I shouldn't have done that. I wonder if I don't set it to blueprints, because it says if it's B is built, and the area is like a special, special boy. MBB, hello, welcome in. Let me rerun that. Okay. And then I need to check if it's like built at this stage. Area. There it is. Are you built? I don't know. Does that even show in is built is false? Okay. Oh, I'm only changing the component. I see. Okay. Yeah, the build collision for an area should set to no, none. I mean, maybe that's just something I need to handle. That's Probably. Okay, so we're gonna stop that again. So you're gonna have no collision at first, and then when we finish, which we don't have an event in here. Yeah, we don't have an event in there. Where is my finish? This is finish area resize mode. Start resize mode. Where was finish area resize mode called from? Right here. So yeah, that's like on finish build. Need to head off. Have a great stream. Thank you so much. Hope you have a good rest of your day, Dungeon Noodles. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so we don't call anything on the area, but let's do that now. So we'll just have a function for like finish area or like placement, finish area placement. And then this is where we will get the build collision and set collision enabled. No collision. Yeah, so let's make sure that the settings are setting properly. Object type, visibility and camera, ignore. Everything else block? No. Basically be overlap on everything, I think. And it's world static. I mean, I guess it should be building, right? Technically is a building. But yeah, we're leaving it as no collision, and then we'll turn it on to query only when it's finished. So compile, save that, and then we will call finish area placement. Okay, does that get what we need here? Welcome in, everyone. We're working on some game dev today. It's going to be RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain. We're also going to have some AI generated quests, which are fun. But right now we're working on defining an area. The blinking seems to be a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so I think that was the issue. But yeah, we're trying to let the player define an area. Let's turn off the debug drawings here, which I think was just a Boolean somewhere, right? Yeah, draw debug. Da, 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 da. And so this is how the player is going to be able to tell colonists, like, hey, go to this area, stay out of this area, go chop trees in this area, stuff like that. And it needs to like follow the terrain, and that's why we went with this like voxely approach, because we don't want to include like the overhangs and stuff like that, you know. Why am I still drawing debug here? Drawing debug was false. Oh, this one. This one is, also, oh, we were drawing double then, I think, is valid area start point. Yeah, we were drawing double, I guess. Hello, Paul, Tronics, welcome in. Night Scene, hello. Welcome in, everyone. Just a little Independence Day game dev here. I will add these as parameters to the functions here in a second. I just don't want to have to rebuild. I would have missed one right there. So yeah, we're doing some game dev today. The game I'm working on, gonna try and make it like a combination of some things. I'm going for something like vanilla WoW minus the MMO. plus something like RimWorld, Colony Sim, so RPG Colony Sim, and then something roguelites, maybe like Hades is kind of what I'm thinking. I'll probably have a lot of inspiration from like Legend of Zelda in there as well. I honestly kind of want to turn the decal off. That's just kind of getting in the way. Also, turn you off as well. And did we crash? Yeah, I think we crashed. Oh no, we're fine. But now my player controller is broken. Am I seeing things, or is that a model of the Tower of Barad-dûr in the background? Good eye. Good eye. It is indeed. And there's a poster of it as well over there. Yes, it is. That is the Lego Tower of Barad-dûr. Okay, so yeah, get rid of that. And then on the building area, I mean, honestly, can I just disable this for now or something? Plus 10 to room decor, 100%, yeah. The stats, my mood bonus, I'm getting such a big mood bonus from that. I'm gonna call you Goku. Hello, Goku. Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. Here's the procedural terrain part. I think it's pretty satisfying to watch. It'll be kind of like Minecraft or Valheim, where every world has a different seed. It does take a hot second to load in. Let me run a trace on these. Let's do some tracing here. It's cool that it kind of happens like async almost. I should also only do it if there's a change. So I'm running this like every single frame, and I definitely don't need to be doing that. I definitely don't need to be doing that. Let's take a look at that performance here. Yeah, it's taken 50 milliseconds to build the mesh here. A lot of raycasts on that for sure. So not only do I not need to be doing that every frame, but I can probably just do it in a background thread, you know? Probably just do it in the background thread. Honestly, should I do a parallel 4 and 4 single thread? I think that's what the FPCG actor component mapping changed. Wait, what? What is PCG doing with any of this? Hello, please. What PCG should not be showing up within there at all. I hope. Hang on, give me the task channel. Give me a few frames here. PCG actor on object property changed. Huh. Where is that coming from? On object property changed. You're doing good. I see you try and keep going. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Who's at my front door right now? I don't know. Where was this on object property? I see no PCG references here. It was, what now? FPCG actor and component mapping. On object changed. This class handles any necessary mapping between actors and PCG components. It is meant to be part of the PCG subsystem and owned by it. We offload some logic to this class. We would include notes for mapping between PCG components and partition actors, tracking non-partition components that has tracking actor needs. Why would PCG be tracking this actor? Okay, can I just like, I wonder if I can, give me some information about where this is coming from, please. Come on. Come on, Ryder, you can do it. You can parse the debug symbols. Okay, so no help there. Can you even tell me what graph actor changed? Originating change object is the dynamic mesh, but why is that like registered in the as a part of the PCG system? Partition actors map. Nothing. What? How did this get registered? It's not even telling me like what graph cares about this or anything. Broadcast property change event. Why would the dynamic mesh care? The in object is just null as well. Like, is there somewhere that like gets the component that cares about it? First, gather all the components that are tracking this actor. Okay, yeah, go down there. Oh, of course I can't see it. Of course I can't. I guess we haven't... Okay, we haven't actually set them up yet. Okay, we don't even get there, huh? We don't get there. Oh, they're both empty. If this actor is not tracked, early out. Wait, okay, so why did we do that then? Is PCG just always tracking actors? That seems like kind of an issue. Like, why is it doing that? Dude, there's so much unnecessary work happening here because of that. Like, sure, it's only a couple microseconds, but like when that happens 1,000 times, it's not a couple microseconds anymore. But anyways, I can offload this into a background thread. And I don't need to do it. So why it gets laggy after a while, PCG? Are you asking a question, or are you saying that that's why? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, because I don't, like... I would think that, like, this actor has no PCG components on it or anything, so, like... Why does PCG care, you know? It should stop caring. Is that why? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've never seen that before with anything else other than like this dynamic mesh example. I'll definitely keep that in my mind. For now, I'm just going to change this to, first of all, not happen. update area size. So let's promote to variable here. This is going to be like last calc transform, and we'll add that here, I suppose. And we'll say branch not equal, rather not equal to, oh, I can't do it with transforms, can I? Oh my god, I hate my life. Oh, I hate my life. Okay, split it, then split it. Oh, I can't split there, I have to break. And I guess we'll just do if the location is not different, not equal with some tolerance, sure. So if it's not equal, then we do it. If not, do nothing. So now we should not be doing anything. So if I trace for a few frames, we should see none of that because my location has not changed. Good. Good, Anakin, good. Okay. So now, okay, now it's never happening. Well, it never got set, I think, is the problem. So we need to rebuild. So that wasn't exactly a good test. That was not exactly a good test. Okay, we're still running at 20 FPS right now, which is what I would call not optimal. Scott White, hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so let me guess, we're still doing it every frame. Wait, why? Oh, right, because we like modify. Yeah, we like modify the transform. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Undo it. Undo it. Oh my god, are you serious? You're seriously gonna... Are you like... Hi, do you teach game developing? No, I don't. Well, I teach myself. That's about it, though. Alright, this is just hobby. This is just hobby free time stuff here. I don't know what else can I do to stop this little. This only happens when I end the world during play, during nav building. Yeah, if we don't have a world or a recat, just like return, just get out of there. Just skedaddle. How long have you been owning your developing skills? I've been programming since I was like 16 years old. And I've been a software engineer for almost 10 years now. So I've been programming for longer than 10, but getting paid for it for about 10. And I've been getting into game dev for about 2.5, almost 3 years now. 2.5 years in game dev. Just on this project, free time stuff, you know. Seemed like a random question, but how do you deal with your well-being? In two aspects as a programmer, the headphones and the back pain. The back pain is real. I have a standing desk and I also have a walking treadmill that I probably need to use more, but goddamn, walking is hard. But yeah, I do have some pretty bad back issues. So I just try to stretch every day. When it's not too hot, I was trying to take my doggos for walks and stuff. And you know, I have a gym in my basement, so I work out every day too. Yeah. headphones for the heat of wearing it for a very long time, and the back pain was sitting for a lot of hours. Yeah, the back pain. Headphones are fine. I don't know. I don't have an issue with my headphones. I don't have an issue with the headphones. But the back pain, I do have some pretty bad back issues. To the point where I can't like sleep on my back anymore without it hurting. So yeah, I just try to stretch every day, work out every day. Good posture. I have a standing desk so I can stand up when I need to. I got some nice memory foam slippers that I use when I'm standing. Can you explain exactly what you're working on? Use a yoga ball to save my back and knees. I do have a yoga ball, but it's too small. It's like a small yoga ball. I know Primogen uses one of those too, so yeah, it has been a thought of mine. Oh yeah, I needed to change that and I didn't change that. So we need to actually save reroute node, this guy. Save that guy instead. But I'm working on a video game. This is Unreal Engine 5. So it'll be in C++. And it's going to be a RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain. Here's the procedural terrain. Here it is. Here it is. It'll be destructible as well. And so I'm thinking like combining some games, something like Vanilla WoW plus RimWorld plus Hades is kind of what I'm picturing in my head. And then we'll have AI generated quests and stuff like that. And right now I'm working on a area system here where I can define an area in the world, and then you can tell the colonists to be like, hey, go to this area. You know, you can give the area like a name or something, or chop trees in this area, you know, harvest food and any food that you find in this area. That's what I'm working on right now. And we kind of did this voxelized approach because I have like all these underground caves and stuff like that, and all these overhangs. And so there's a lot of edge cases involved, and there's a terrain chunk that did not generate properly. So that's a very interesting formation there, but yeah, there's a lot of like, you can't just do like this little box. So you'll notice there's this box, right? I say as it of course doesn't show the blue box. You see the blue box there? That's the naive approach, is to just make that box. But if you think about that box, there could be like some underground cave like right underneath this that you would select with that box, and that cave might be dangerous, and you might as a player you might unknowingly send all your colonists there and they might die, you know. So it's really, we had to come up with a pretty clever algorithm to make sure that we're defining the area as how the player intends to. Hey, what are you coding? Oh, if you were only here 30 seconds ago. If you were only here 30 seconds ago. It's a video game, so RPG Colony Sim Roguelite is what we're going for. Procedural terrain. Do you prefer this method or using Brushify? I don't know what Brushify is. Where is... I can't even find the trace anymore. It's gone. Build area mesh. No insight events found. What? What? I mean, I guess that's good. Did I just not move it? I forgot. Okay, now let's find one of these boys. Contains build area mesh. Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, when it still happens when we're moving, so we can kick it off to a background thread as well. We can make it blocking too, I think, perhaps. Very nice. I'll follow you to see more then. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. And the supporter from Denmark. Oh, welcome in from Denmark. Welcome in from Denmark. Yeah, there's the world. It's pretty cool, I think. We have, here's the world map as well, which can be kind of fun to look at. Oh, the zone I'm in is called the Land of the Unicorns. These are like AI generated names. Oh, the Land of the Unicorns is right next door to the Abyssal Depths. Because that's how that works. Moonshadow Basin, Crystal Lake, Emerald Enclave. This zone is called the Phoenix Ash of Rebirth. Like, you know, it definitely, the AI needs some work on zone names, but some of these are cool. Maelstrom Coast. It's not even a coast, you know. But it would be cool to, like, I do want to encode some more information into the prompt that these get generated from. About, like, what kind of zone it is. Because right now I do zero information. I just say, hey, generate me some fantasy RPG video game zone names. And this is what it gives me. And so it'd be like cool if I gave it this one. This one's like a forest that's on a coastline, you know, like that would be good information. And each one of these are different zones with different names. The borders, they're like, there's mountain borders around each one. So rather than just having like a seamless kind of biome to biome transition like you'd expect from a game like Minecraft or Valheim, they actually have defined borders and stuff. And the white dots are like the entrances into each zone. And so there might not be an entrance into every zone. So you may need to get clever with how you get over there. You can dig through the mountains. You can maybe find a cave that goes underground to get you to the other zone. Or you can maybe build up and back down. Up the mountain, back down the mountain, like some stairs or something. Oh, I missed some chats. Do you have a degree as a software engineer? Or are you self-taught? I'm self-taught. I dropped out of college. Oh, what kind of dogs do you have? I have a Yorkie and a Morkie. Two little things. What's your PC setup? I have a 7700X, Ryzen 7700X, and a 3080 Ti, 64 gigs of RAM. So yeah, that's there's mountain borders and stuff there. And so if I were to zoom out, you can see that this zone here, here's the mountain that I'm talking about. This is the border. And there's this zone over here. They have different, right now I only have a couple different biomes, and these just happen to be both forests, so it's not super exciting. But you can see this like border mountain kind of got chopped up by the 3D noise here. So you could maybe even, I guess maybe not there. You'll say maybe you could find a way to get over there, but it doesn't look like you can. But you can see that the terrain noise is different. Like this is all like kind of rocky, kind of small mountains. And then this one is like kind of plain. This is probably like my plainsy or swampy noise. And then this tunnel might go to the other side. Oh, it does. It does go to the other side, but you have to like fall down in this hole. So if you're in this zone, you can fall down in this hole. And if you fall down, then you will be able to get over to the other side, which is kind of fun. Oh, here's a better way. That's a much, well, I guess you probably can't get up there. But these kind of like RNG tunnels get created as a part of the terrain noise. And then it kind of creates little hidden ways to get from zone to zone, which I think is cool. I think it's really cool. And then we have a zone over here that has like some really big high noise. So that's cool too. Okay, so next little bit that we need to do for this system is what now? We need to like kick this off into a background thread, and what we need to do with that is make sure that we're not, because we're editing the dynamic mesh. So I need to like, and we are calling it from Blueprint. So I guess I need to pass in like a delegate for when it's finished, right? And then I need to do some like is running. Oh, I see the project is finished. Nice job. Thanks. Yep, it's all done. I just need to find that ship game button somewhere in the editor. I can't find it. They must have moved it in the new update. Yeah, I guess I'll need to pass in like a delegate here. A dynamic delegate for the blueprint to subscribe to, right? And then it'll let the blueprint know when it's done. Art is never finished, only abandoned. That's a deep take. Do you prefer procedural environments or sculpted environments? I assume you mean procedural. I think is what you mean by that. As a player, I like both. There are benefits to both, right? It just kind of depends on the game, right, and how you use it. Like, you know, No Man's Sky is probably like the holy grail of procedural generation right now. And that is their content. Like, they treat that as like one of the core pieces of content in their game. So that's it. It needs to be that good for it to be that way, right? A fellow typo enjoyer. Yes, I'm a connoisseur of typos. You mean you just suck at writing? Yeah, please. But then there's games like Starfield, where they try to they do kind of like a not so good version of procedural generation, and then try to treat it like content, and it's not very good. So it really depends on how the game is built around the procedural generation. I do enjoy games that have that aspect of replayability. Do you I'm answering that question right now. I am answering the question. I like both, and it just, either one needs to be done well. And so it's you know, like RimWorld is a game that has procedural generation, but it's pretty basic. It's not like anything super crazy, but it just exists as a backdrop for the actual content. And I think that's how procedural generation can be used very well, even if you don't have like a great version of procedural generation. Like a lot of, even just like a lot of roguelites, you know, when you're going from like room to room and like Enter the Gungeon or something like that, like they're procedurally generated, but it's nothing like super crazy, right? It's just slightly different each time, and it's okay because that's not the actual content that the game is wanting you to interact with. It's just wanting to give you like a somewhat unique experience, you know, when you're running around and stuff like that. And so it's not like saying, oh, like the content is exploring these different rooms. Hasty, see me after class. Chad is aggressive today. Drink a beer. I know. I need some beer. I'm out. It is America's birthday, and not having beer on America's birthday is kind of a sin. It starts with void done on the ship game button. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I like both. You know, I don't think everyone should just do procedural or anything like that, especially if you can't do it well. For me, it's going to be kind of something, you know, I'm just going to try to make it as good as I can. Right? I think it's pretty good right now. I just need to, you know, I need to actually just work on the biomes. Like they need to be, the zones need to be different, because right now they're very samey. And I do intend to put some more work into that soon. But honestly, like as far as like I mean, I think my noodle caves need a little bit of work, but like honestly, if I just made different biomes and made the noodle caves a little better, improved the spawning stuff in the caves, like I really just need content, right? I just need content on the map, I think, at this point. I think the map itself is actually in an okay state, as long as I don't treat that as the content, right? And for my game, I guess it's kind of in this halfway, state of like being content versus being a backdrop. Like on one side of the scale, you have No Man's Sky, which is like the procedural generation is the content. That's the point of the game. The point of the game is exploration on these procedural generated planets. And then you have a game like RimWorld, which is procedurally generated. Let me pull up like a RimWorld map. RimWorld map, just to show. And so there's a new update coming out that's making them look way cooler. But here's like an example. Let me open this up. Here's like an example of like a RimWorld map, right? Like there's nothing super like crazy about this. Like you can just see there's it's a top-down game. So this is just some 2D noise values. And then these rocks are like, there's marble here, I think, and then this other one is slate. So there's slightly different things there. There's like some fertile grass, some regular grass, and some rocky ground around like it's not, there's some little structures here. It's nothing super crazy. But it just gives you it's a little bit different each time you play. And that's the game isn't about exploring these things, although there is a new update coming out, a new DLC called Odyssey, where they're adding a lot more to it to make exploration a bigger part of the game. Still not the main part, Still not the main part. So this, on one scale, we have something like this, where it's just a backdrop to facilitate the rest of the game. And then on the other side of the spectrum is No Man's Sky, where the procedural generation is the game. And I think Starfield tried to be No Man's Sky, but they didn't do the procedural generation very well. So it's like, you guys can't do that. You can't half-ass the procedural generation and expect players to interact with it in an explorative way. And for me, in my game, it's kind of somewhere in the middle of that spectrum. It's kind of in the middle of that, because like I do have this big world that you can go out and explore, but it's really, that exploration, it really just is to facilitate the RPG side and the colony side of things. So it's a little bit of both. And I understand that I do need to do, I'm not expecting to do as good of a job as No Man's Sky. I mean, I am but one man. But I do need to put, you know, some level of effort. I need it to be better than Starfield, I'll say. And I think it already is, because I don't think Starfield had 3D noise, I'll be honest. I think, you know, who has played Starfield here? Does this already look better and more exciting than Starfield? Picture these as having different textures, so they're not all the same color. If anyone has played Starfield, let me know. I'm curious as to what your take, because I haven't played it. I've only seen people's takes on it. My plan is to mix procedural elements and sculpted landscape. Yeah, I've got some plans for some really cool systems for like procedural terrain points of interest. I will be spawning assets as a point of interest, like little bandit camps and stuff like that. But I also have some ideas on how I can select procedural like landforms and land masses as a point of it, like maybe there's a giant plateau in here, or maybe there's a giant quarry or a giant ravine, you know, that kind of stuff. I have some ideas on how I can put those into the world as well, and those can be either handcrafted or procedural. So Turning Cog, I think that is a really good way to do it. iLux said hi. Hello back to you, iLux. Yeah, you can get creative with the biomes with your noise algo, making unique terrain. Yeah, and I just need to spend some more time on that, because right now I only have like 4 or 5 different noises. Like here's one, here's another one. So we're looking at 3 different ones right now. A lot of great procedural world generation comes from how you can interact with it. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Make picking up rock awesome, or make it a simple tool. One is fun, the other is just a need to do so. Yeah. One Man's Sky confirmed. That's funny. Yeah, I didn't play it, but I watched it. It wasn't great. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like with procedural planets, and I mentioned this before, like I almost don't see a point to doing procedural planets. It's too big, because like, homeboy playing God over here. Hey, who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't want to? I just want to create cool shit, man. Hard is being self-taught software engineer. I assume you mean how hard. I like it. I prefer it. I prefer being self-taught. I find it harder to sit through a curriculum or follow a course or a tutorial. I find it a lot easier to do it myself, on my own pace, learning what I want to learn. But yeah, you need to be self-motivated, so there is some difficulty in that. Do you do this as a full-time job? No, I'm just a software engineer as a full-time job. This is just free-time hobby stuff. The hardest hard, but worth. But yeah, I think procedural planets are kind of not worth it. And I think No Man's Sky is the only game that has pulled that off. Because it almost doesn't make sense as a game mechanic. Because a planet is so big, either you make a planet that is very samey across the whole thing to facilitate players going from one planet to another, because you don't want them to stay on one planet, because part of the game should, if you're making procedural planets, part of the game is going to be exploring multiple planets and doing the space travel. Like that would be part of it, right? But if you make a world, a planet, and you do a really interesting procedural generation all over it, then a player would stay on that planet, and because it's so big, they would stay there for a long time exploring it. So it's like they kind of don't, it doesn't match up, right? Which one is which? And I like Starfield did it poorly, and I don't think they understood that nuance. I am self-taught, yes. What are you creating, brother? Working on a video game. This is my procedural terrain system. I'm just like kind of spitballing. I'm just kind of spitting game on procedural generation concepts and ideals and stuff like that. But here's the world map. It's going to be RPG Colony Sim Roguelite. And I'm supposed to be working on this little area system where you can define an area for like your colonists to like stay within and stuff. And honestly, I would almost prefer like... I mean, yeah, if I'm gonna be using the mesh... If I'm gonna be using the mesh to like do the overlaps and stuff, I might as well show that to the player, right? So you don't have a degree on software engineer. No. No. I am self-taught. I do not have a degree. Just to be abundantly clear about that. And I've been a software engineer for almost 10 years now. So yeah, rather than doing the decal, maybe this is best. Although it is a little awkward, right? It is a little awkward, like, because I will want to display these in the world somehow so the player can see what areas they've defined. And like how much memory is this taking up, right? How much memory is that taking up? Could also do a mesh simplify on it. I really want to be like you, dude. You seem so pro at what you do. Well, you just got to do a lot. Do it. Just do more. Find some cool projects to work on that you're interested in. I feel like I'm gonna learn a lot by watching. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, you maybe pick up some things about game dev. Not so much about software engineering in this channel, but for sure game dev, Unreal Engine things. I do think like the visual, like doing a decal shader is, would look best and probably be what the player is expecting to see. But I feel like making that match up with what the overlap box checker thing is doing would be difficult to make them match 100%. All the games just give you a bubble area you can see to show the player that shit is yours. Yeah, but they don't have the problems of, that I do of underground caves. Because like if I just did like a 3D volume area, then it would include like a cave. When that's not actually included. That's the problem. I have the same opinion about Starfield and No Man's Sky, and frankly, I wish to see what you accomplish, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have some very strong opinions about game design and game development and procedural generation and stuff like that. So, I hope people can appreciate that. Just for visual, I mean. Well, but I mean, even with just visual, like, what if it visually includes a bit of underground? You know, like picture one of these just like really close to, you know, this box or something. Or like, you know, inside the box, but underneath, you know, somewhere like under here. And then the player's gonna be like, why aren't you going here or something? You know, it's just like there's downsides to it. You never take a break, not even on a holiday. This isn't work for me. This is fun. This is how I spend my free time. I enjoy game dev a lot. Yeah, it will be a shorter stream today, I think. I gotta cook ribs, so I gotta get those on the smoker here in about an hour. But maybe I'll just take a break in an hour, put those on, come back, because they'll just stay there for a while, you know. Yummy ribs, they will be yummy. They will. Is there a way to get like a decal? If I could get this to render as a plane. My family makes homemade ice cream, can't wait. That sounds great on a day like today. Probably nice and hot, yeah. Enjoy watching you, do what you do. Good luck, man. Love from China. Well, thank you, I appreciate that. Love from China, love from the US. Love back to you. Do you have the thermometer that yells at your phone when it's done? Well, I have a pellet grill, so there's just an app that does that. Yeah, so I get like the next part for this is what I was saying with kicking it off to a background thread. One moment. Oxy. Okay, so yeah, we need to kick this off to a background thread, which means we need a delegate in here. Declare needs to be dynamic. Dynamic delegate. I don't think we need a param. I don't think we need any params. I just need to know when. On mesh built is what needs to happen there. Might as well, let's add also the bool b draw debug on there. Where are we? There we go. There we are. There we are. Yes, of course. Of course. Draw debug. And then in here, right down here on mesh built dot executive bound. So that should be good to go. Let's just rebuild. Oh, I hang on. I actually need to put it on the background thread first. Oh, I suppose we need to do it here as well. Yeah. Is there any other return statements? No, just there. Why are you using two CPP files, or are they just different places in the same file? What do you mean? The header file and this one? I'm not sure what you're talking about when you say two CPP files. Which two? Which two? Okay, so we'll do that. And I guess, should we just always launch this? Launch it. I think we need like a debug text thing here, and then that, and then background normal. Yeah, so in C++ you need a header file to define. Like the header file is where you like define the class and all the functions that are on it, and then the CPP file is where you implement and actually write the functionality of it. Now you can inline things into the header file, but this is the standard thing, and it helps prevent like circular dependencies, which is pretty important. And it's just kind of how most languages don't do something like that, but it's just kind of how it's one of those things as to how C++ works, you know. I don't know, does that need to be, that might need to be a ref, I'm not sure. Dynamic mesh needs to go in there too. We need a, can I just like capture, can we just do this? Capture everything by ref? I don't know if that's a bad idea or not. Okay, let's rebuild now. Is there a downside to inline stuff on the header? I mean, what I found is just circular dependencies can happen if you do too much of that. And it's also just like an organizational thing. I would think if a lot of inline stuff, like, first of all, like if you do like a templated function, that needs to be inline, that has to be inlined, a template function. But other than that, I've seen a lot of it just like, you know, simple getters and setters and stuff like that. Usually if it's like a one-line function, you can inline it if it doesn't have any like imports for it. If you have imports for it, like you may end up in a situation where one header file includes another header file, which includes another one, which includes the first one. You get a circular dependency there, and you can't have that. And you can use forward declarations to break that up, but sometimes you can't. Like, you can only use forward declarations when you don't actually need to like use any methods on the object, on the class or whatever it is. So the more you're doing in a function, you just need to do it in C++. It's also just an organizational thing as well, because when you're importing things in CPP files, like no other CPP file depends on another CPP file. That's another way that it gets broken up. Like your imports are only header files. They're only header files. Like these are all .h, and you would never import a .cpp file. Like you think of the CPP as like private in a way, right? Think of the CPP file as private and the header is public, although you can have private header files as well. Are you coding a game? Yes. Did you use books to self-learn about being a software engineer, or did you have like someone who taught you? Nope, neither. I just Googled stuff, honestly. Yeah. I just worked on projects that I thought were cool, and anything that I didn't know how to do, I just went and figured it out. Mostly Google, yeah. My teachers, I did take a few programming courses in college, and I taught myself through those too, because I don't know. I know how I learn best, and I need things to apply the knowledge to in order for it to solidify. And you know, having just a fucking test is not very motivating for me. Oh yeah, I need to like update this. Yeah, that was always going to crash, wasn't it? So I guess, does it have to? Wait, what is crashing right now? What and or why? It's a thread function. It's probably the ref, probably, I feel like, actually. Yeah, probably let's not do ref on these. Kind of annoying that we'll have to pass everything in by copy. On mesh built, B draw debug. And dynamic mesh. Basically every single parameter we need to capture in that Lambda. For anyone looking to learn, the best resource I found for learning the ins and outs of C++ and Unreal Engine is Stephen Ulabari. His tutorials on Udemy and a Patreon with a ton of content. Yeah, so if anyone prefers, you know, courses or tutorials, and it sounds like that's a good option for you. Is that supposed to be disconnected? I feel like that's not supposed to be disconnected. What happened? But I don't know any better. Where is build area mesh? Oh yeah, I need to create like a delegate for this, don't I? A little create event. And so let's do I'll need a Boolean variable for like B is building, right? Or should I just always get the last one? Ooh, how should I do this? God, I hate blueprints. Freed Fox, welcome in. I made the Stephen Ulabari gas course. I think it's essential since Unreal documentation about the plugin is, well, something. Thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate that. Yeah, I never like courses or tutorials, but I can understand why people do. I usually don't need everything in the tutorial or the course. I just need something specific. And so I like having to search through the course or whatever, or you know, sit through or proceed through a course or some structured lesson. Usually, you know, some of the stuff I don't care about or I don't need to know at the moment. And so I'm just looking for a specific piece of information usually. And then once I know it, you know, I'm done with the course or whatever. So, I mean, everything that I use gas, and I actually overwrote a good portion of it. And usually I just learn from, you know, different forum posts, or there's a great, I use Tranix documentation on gas. I use that documentation for gas. That, and then just reading the source code. Okay, yeah, how am I going to do this? Because I need like some sort of... I need to know which one's the right one, because like we could kick off multiples of these. And I kind of want to like invalidate like the last one. Should I just return like a timestamp and just use the timestamp? Yeah, let's just do a timestamp. That seems... This is going to be one params. One param. Float. Timestamp. And then it should return a float as well. And then I'll just return timestamp. Float, timestamp, platform time seconds, sure. And then pass that in. We'll need to copy that in too. Copy that in. Okay, so now we have like an ID. It's basically acting as an ID. What's the issue here? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna use timestamp as an ID. Carito, welcome back. Welcome in. And then yeah, I still need to think about what I want the visual representation of this area to be. I think the optimal thing I would want is the decal shader, but like the decal has its own issues. Like it will project through the ground into a cave. So it's like kind of difficult. When do you use blueprints? In other words, what does blueprints do that C++ can't? Nothing. There's nothing blueprints can do that C++ can't, because blueprints are built from C++. So it's the other way around. Like, there's a lot that C++ can do that blueprints can't. And I just prefer, like, the organization of blueprints is very poor, in my opinion. Like, this is disgusting. And when you have the giga blueprints, like, these are just very hard to organize and follow. Like, look at all this shit. It's too much. And like the editor functionality, like, you can't comment it as well. You have to play this like spaghetti noodle organization game that I hate. So I don't think blueprints are as easy to follow at a large scale. Usually you just keep it for like for me personally, I keep it for like the simpler stuff, the things that I need to tinker with. And then I do all the base functionality stuff in C++. On mesh built timestamp, I want to keep track of the latest timestamp, latest build timestamp. That needs to be a float. Wait a second. So how am I I'm gonna be like overriding. The default value is false. What? How am I gonna make sure we don't override the mesh? Because one of these could finish before another. Should it return a new mesh? It should probably return a new fucking mesh, shouldn't it? Character creator 4 verse metahuman. Thank you for that comment. Appreciate your input. So why do you use it for this project? Because it's faster to test ideas with? Yeah. I mean, it is faster to kind of iterate on some things, but like, if you're going to be working with other people don't always know C++, and like the designy things are like, the designy things are things that are really nice to do in like blueprints. UI is nice to do. Like defining all like the gameplay ability system stuff is nice to do in blueprints. Yeah, it's generally a little bit faster, but for sometimes it gets to a point where it's like, for me, I can just write it faster in C++ and organize it better, just because I've been a software engineer for so long. So I just think in that way more naturally. Yeah, like what Turning Kong said. Do a backflip out the window blindfolded while solving a Rubik's Cube. Okay, thank you for that. Prototyping ability is only what I use blueprints for. Yeah, pretty similar to me. I mean, I'm doing some like, it's good for like also overriding like classes. Like, it's nice to have a class in C++, and then like for each one of my buildings there's a different like subclass for it if it needs different functionality. Oh yeah, then there's the materials here. Material noodles. But yeah, I think I need to return a different mesh from this so I can actually apply the mesh properly. I think I have to do that too. So I think it actually needs to be a 2 params. I think it actually needs to be a 2 param situation, because then otherwise we might override. We might override with an out of date one. And so we don't need to, we're not going to pass in a dynamic mesh anymore. We will create one. View dynamic mesh. Pointer dynamic mesh. Yeah, that, except we need to scope guard it because we're creating this on a background thread now, which no can do in Unreal Engine, but I know the secrets. I know the secrets, which is you do that, and then before you return it off the background thread, you do one of these boys, which is clear async flags. Clear internal flags, async. Okay. Okay, I hope that works. I didn't think very hard before I started changing stuff. I hope that works. I guess I could do it after I execute as well. That wouldn't hurt. So you say MetaHuman has more capabilities than Creator Character 4 and iClone. I said no such thing. I said no such thing. If you hate material noodles, you can just cram some HLSL in there. I mean, hey, you're preaching to the choir, buddy. Wrote my own compute shaders. Okay, area. Dynamic mesh, you are now yeah, you're not needed here anymore. You are not needed here anymore. Okay. So then on the mesh build, that actually, yeah, that's going to need to be updated with a new parami boy. And that parami boy is a dynamic mesh. Yeah, so if that's the latest, then we are going to grab the, let's actually rename this component. Be clear. Set dynamic mesh. Wait, can I not fuck? Okay. Whew. I was about to get so mad that I couldn't do that in blueprints. Noodles. All right, let's see if these nudes work. Okay. Okay. Immediate crash. Okay, sick. Maybe I should have done that in the test level first. On executive bound. I guess I need to, do I need to call, I need to call back to the game thread. Yeah. Yeah, I probably should have realized that. So async task, put it on the game thread. I just need timestamp in here and dynamic mesh. Oh, and I guess the delegate as well. I suppose we'll put the delegate in there. Fine. And I guess yeah, clearing it on the game thread there would be preferable. Okay, so rebuild one more time. Hi, where you learn Blueprint? Nowhere specific, just random Googling. I see you're using Rider, I think. I am. Should I switch to it? Yes. What does it provide which VS doesn't? I mean, Rider is just specifically built for Unreal Engine. Visual Studio is just a general IDE. So once you start using it, you'll realize how beneficial that is. It just teaches you how to write C++ for Unreal Engine a lot better. It's free now for non-commercial use, so no reason not to try it. And you'll start to see what some of the, like, it just works better. Autocompletes are better. Is that C++? Yes it is. Autocompletes are better. You know, it like warns you about certain things. It'll be like, hey, you need to make this a U property. You know, this it's so much better at telling you about Unreal Engine. Rider is a must for sure. Yeah, a lot of people recommend it. We get a noodle shop where the menu is just blueprint screenshots. I'm not sure that that would satiate my hunger very much. I think I would leave that noodle shop very unsatisfied. We're working on RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain. That was just some of the procedural terrain there. I'm trying to define like areas so the player can tell it's working. It's working. But this is so the player can like tell the colonist, hey, I need you to go to this area. Oh, the frame rate's so smooth too. Oh my god. What was all that about? Okay, so it's not working perfectly. Oh yeah, it's like super out of date. Yeah. I wonder, I should probably like... I should probably clear it after each one, right? After each call to update. That way we're not showing like an old one, right? Okay, I can't... Jesus Christ, okay. Type it out, get dynamic mesh component. Okay. Oh no, the blueprint is not working right now. Reset. Okay, that way we don't get like old ones. It did not like that. Oh, null pointer. So we set it. So we should check if it's not a null pointer too. It's a bad idea that I'm learning German and C++ at the same time. I don't see why not. Those seem like two independent things. But guten Tag, mein Freund. Snapchat needs to leave me alone. With their holiday messages and whatnot. On mesh built. Yeah, we need to make sure that this is valid. Valid is valid. God, my throat is just nice and froggy today. If that's valid. Set it. Okay. Run it back. Why, like, what makes it all fucky there? You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets all fucky there for a second. What on earth was that about? I can't get it to... I want it to stop on, like, one of those fucky frames. I don't know, like, what... the dealio is there, though. Maybe I should, like... Should I reset the mesh first? Before that call? I don't know. Is there's like a frame of it getting like super wonky or something? Nice work. Thank you. Welcome in, T1. Oh, Jesus. Well, there's an interesting test. And it properly did not follow me down here because it was not, can't actually navigate from there. But like, you know, should I just get rid of the, should I just get rid of that concept though, you know, and just have it follow wherever? As long as it is on contiguous terrain and not because I do a impact normal check as well, so it doesn't get the underhangs. But I think we might want that because I will have some things spawned on the ceilings. But I don't know how I would do that without also not invalidating the backface checks. So I'll spell out the scenario that we were looking at yesterday where this may be an issue. So brown is terrain, right? You have a big hill up here that comes down, and then you've got an overhang here. So this is all terrain. This is all solid terrain. Right? So player starts here. And then they start the drawing there. And then the player walks up here. And then they're looking, the end location is like right there. So the box is now this. And what's going to happen, well, this is kind of a bad... Imagine... I drew it wrong. But the terrain that we're going to get is this. We'll make it light blue. We're going to get this as the voxels here, which is what we want. But if we're doing contiguous terrain, and let's say this box started like, out here. Okay, I'll redo it. So let's say the starting point is like, right fucking there. Or right, well, this is the box. Let me actually draw a box first. That's the box. Okay, so what we're gonna get from this scenario is all of this, and all of this, and up here. This, I don't know if the player wants that. I don't know if the player... Right now, what I have would stop... right at wherever the impact normal is, that direction. So we would just get this surface. Is that what I think in most times that's what the player would want. But yeah, what if there are some like little, things right here that you want to be collected? What do we want that? If I got rid of the back face hit, then we would get this. And like, yeah, this section here is what I'm unsure of. I don't know if we should return that or not. The turning cog, that's the hesitation I have. Dr. Stipandi. Welcome. 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 Willkommen. Playtesting needed, yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe let's just like, should we just get rid of the backface hits and just see what that looks like? Yeah, let's just do a quick test. Let's just see how easy this is to toggle. And then maybe you can like edit some settings on the box to toggle that on the area. Okay, it still didn't do anything. Oh, it's just, oh, there it is, okay. I think how you have it is good, but it did seem weird when you fell there, but you do want to avoid making dangerous caves unknowingly is the worst, I think. Can you suggest where I can learn Blueprint in C++ Udemy or YouTube like Tom Lumen and ask a dev channel? I can't. I don't use anything like that. I don't have specific resources for most things. I usually just, you know, figure it out piece by piece on my own by Googling and looking at source code and stuff. This is less problematic than it could be. If we need to do more later, change it later. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling now. But I was wondering how easy it would be. Is this not actually filtering anything out, though? Like, I thought it would be, for sure. Like, I don't know, maybe I need to rebuild or restart? Is valid area voxel? Because I'm definitely calling this. Yeah, I am definitely calling this. Maybe let me make absolutely sure that we did live coding there. But Dreamkiller, if you have specific questions, I can probably give you specific answers. But I do not have any just like general tutorials to follow or anything like that. Okay, so I moved a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely not getting the underneath side hits. So wait, does this not... I'm so confused on whether or not this returns backface hits or not. Like, I keep going back and forth on what I feel. Because if it doesn't return backface hits, then what I did wouldn't matter. Actually, I know what I need to change anyway. I need to make it a box trace instead of a line trace to begin with. So... yeah, we need to do that. This needs to be a box trace. We need to build a new one, basically. Box trace single for objects is what we need to build. How many languages do you learn? Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter too much after you learn your first one or two. They all just kind of become tools to use. Box trace multi by channel. Yeah, so copy that. Box trace single for objects is what we need. Start and half size orientation, trace channel, which turns into this thing. Trace entities. I suppose we can leave that in there. I don't need this for entities, but I guess when we're tracing for objects, if we're tracing for a pawn, I would want to include entities. I'm gonna leave that out for now. We only want one out hit now. Ignore self. I never know what that actually fucking means. I actually don't know what that means. Give them a separate ceiling select tool. I feel like that would just be too tedious. I would just want to make a better tool to begin with. Boo, 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 doo. Boo, boo. Okay. So I guess I'm just going to copy the internals of this and then just start like editing. Oh, that was the wrong one. I need to copy this one. Yeah, and it's gonna be so hard to do entities because I don't know. We're gonna skip the entities for now because I don't know which one's gonna be first. I don't know which one's gonna be first. And actually, no, just do it. Why am I doing this? I can just use the regular collision trace. I can just use the regular fucking one because I'm always gonna have collision because this is based off of the player. What am I doing? I'm making this so much more difficult than it needs to be. Box trace single for objects. Okay. World context, start, end. Start in half size orientation, so voxel half size. Right now orientation, as another thing we need to do is the orientation of all of these, because right now we just have zeros for all of that. Object types, hit result after that. Trace complex, hit result is like after draw debug type, okay. Object types, trace complex, B trace. Do I have that? No, I guess I'm false. God, I hate this signature. It's so long and unnecessary. Actors to ignore. We have that draw debug type. I hope that's right. Draw debug type, out hit result, ignore self, true. I guess I don't really need the colors or anything like that. So, okay. Whew. Orientation is supposed to be it's supposed to be a what? An F rotator, okay. Voxel half size is supposed to be a vector, so just F vector wrap it. Okay. Trace start and end now is actually just the voxel location for both. Because we're just taking a square, not moving it and being like, hey, what do we intersect? Okay. It means it won't trigger a collision if it hits the context object. But what is the context object here? Like, it's a static function. So, like, what is the context? Like, how can you ignore self on a static function? Oh, because of the world context object where I'm just passing in a get world. So I guess I don't need to do the get world. I suppose that's why I have that misunderstanding now. I was thinking that you had to pass in get world, but I guess that's the because I'm used to using like these ones, like the underlying get world do the trace, not the Kismet system library ones. Okay, so we're changing our the trace. Now, this will be interesting because we should get more voxels now because there should be more overlaps, but we'll have a more complete coverage of the terrain. And I think maybe this will also include the walls and shit. Okay, we're frozen. Let's just rebuild. Let's rebuild. Blazing Bane, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome. You are my 360th follow. It's a long one, isn't it? Yeah, those trace functions are pretty long. Pretty nasty. Okay. Did I buy anything from the Steam Summer Sale? No, I have not. I have not looked at it. I don't really... It's hard for me to play games without wanting to work on my own. Kind of sucks, honestly. I will play the new RimWorld DLC whenever that comes out, though. I'm excited for that. Should be coming out soon, right? In like a couple weeks or something. But yeah, I just spend all my time doing game dev, so no point in buying a bunch of new games for me when I already have a bunch that are unfinished. Okay, let's check out our coverage yet. So we should basically see no terrain poking through, and I think that's true. And then we cover it on the bottom as well. Crazy. Why did that one return? Like, this one probably should not have returned. Let me look at the trace again just to make sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just the voxel location. I mean, a little bit extra is okay. I think it's not like the end of the world. I wonder if we're getting. I wonder if we're getting overlaps on the grass or something. I don't know, something. Well, there's literally nothing in this box. Dare I draw debug here? I probably should have taken the time to actually put the draw debug into the function signature. I need to like move slightly. I'm frozen. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of debug things being drawn. Right, because now it's happening on a background thread. And yeah, it didn't like that. It did not like that. It did not like that. Okay, change that to false. And actually we'll put the will be draw debug. Now that we have to rebuild anyway, we'll do it. Okay, and then that can be forwarded. And I suppose we would need to do that here. Draw debug. We'll add that here. Bool be draw. Draw debug false. Okay. I'm surprised hot reload works as much as it does for you. Yeah, I mean, I just make sure to not change the header files, and for the most part, it'll work. Like, I think the only reason it doesn't is because I do a lot of stuff on the background threads, and running the live coding It's not hot reload, which is a different thing in Unreal Engine, but live coding, it suspends the execution, which I think fucks up things that are running on the background threads sometimes. But I think it would be fine if I didn't do that. But that won't stop me because I can't read. Okay, yeah, let's jump down in a cave now. I'll just accept that there are some extra voxels for now. Not a huge deal, I don't think. But we'll try to come up with some examples on whether or not it would be. I should probably do a debounce on this. I mean, it works fine as it is now. It's looking very sexy, I might add. Nice and sexy. Okay, here's going to be a nice... This is going to be a really sexy test here, guys. Check this out. We're going to start here. We're going to go way over here. Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yes, it is. And then I suppose let's just fucking hop down in here. Uh-oh. Oh no. Hello? Things are happening. Yeah, I should do some debouncing on that. Okay, are we good now? Yeah. Oh my, oh, okay. Dude, check that out. Oh my god, it's covering the fucking roots. Oh my god, that is so fucking cool. I wrote that. What? Dude, what? That's fucking sick. Okay, I didn't intend for it to cover the roots. It should probably be blocking... Bro, that's fucking insane. Do you think, like, see, there's the downside though. There's the downside of that. Like, is that what the user would want? At least it's not going to include anything in this empty area because it can't. There's no contiguous path there. That's fucking insane that just fucking worked though. Holy shit. I just have to admire this for a second. This is fucking sick, dude. And I mean, I guess it is kind of good that it's wrapped around the roots, because then when I do like an overlap test, it's going to get every single one. Take the screenshot. Isn't what, like F9 screenshot? I've accidentally created so many screenshots. There you go. We Minecraft now, boys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We just took a really roundabout way of getting there. I like that it doesn't include the UI. That's really nice that it does that. So the game has building elements, and this allows the player to build an area on the terrain. Correct. Yes. It's really just to like specify things for colony shenanigans. Go here, you know, mine here, chop trees here, stay within this area, kind of thing. So I guess one thing is that we need to do box trace single for objects. I mean, this should be a blocking hit though, right? Like it should be returning blocking hits only. And what are the collision settings on these roots?
I'm upset that you can't search through this list. Yeah, they're just set to overlap. Oh, they are block on building terrain. Oh, that's probably why. Oh, I hate that I created my own custom ones of these and they don't like line up with the presets. Is there a way to change that? Is there a way to change that in the editor? Collision. Default response is block, but like the presets. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hell yeah. I did it. I found it. Block all is actually fine. No collision works. Block all dynamic. Okay, so it's just overlap all. That kind of sucked, didn't it? Okay, save that. Let's replay. So that's probably why those returned. Now the trees are blocking, so that's going to be actually really interesting to see. It's gonna like engulf the trees. Oh, dude, you know what? Oh my god, this actually, I love this algorithm that I wrote. I fucking love this algorithm that I wrote. Holy shit! And I have some of you to thank for it as well. You guys gave me some really good ideas yesterday. What does this look like? Yes, dude. Look at that. Okay, so imagine, if you will, you're running a colony. A stranger comes to join your colony, begging for help. He's badly wounded. He's shaken. He looks like he has fucking shell shock. He's shook. He's just murmuring and shaking, right? And he just keeps saying, the rot, over and over again. And you're like, okay, let me take this guy in. You're running a charitable, you're doing a good guy playthrough. You're running a charitable colony. So you're like, okay, we'll take this guy in. We'll get him patched up. You know, his condition gets worse and worse. And then he eventually like turns into a fucking like rot zombie or some shit. And he starts spreading rot. And then the rot like just attaches onto everything. And I don't, what is here? What is here that is getting collision hits? Anyways, it just starts spreading like this. And it starts attaching itself to the trees and everything. And then you have to like cleanse it. You know, you have to like, I don't know, there's something you have to research. You know, you have to like burn it with fire or something like that. And it's like, it deals damage. You walk slower on it. You start getting sick. You start getting diseases, which last for a long time. Oh, that was the floating rock. Good eye, Yamio. Yeah, there it is. You're right. Good eye. Yeah, the floating rock, which I need to fix. Easy fix. I have to wait 5 years to stop imagining. Turning Clog, you also see me after class. You and Hasty, I need to see you after class. That would be great, yes. But like this algorithm, like the thing, it spreads, which is really cool. Like it spreads from the starting point. And so it walks out. And this could also be used for fire. Like this same algorithm could be used for fire. And what's great is that I don't actually need it to rely on a world voxel. These voxels are just generated. They're not, it's just a location, right? It's just math. Like I'm not actually, there's no data structure here. There's not a world grid. And so I think to me that makes it feel a lot more natural rather than like the voxely things that we're used to, where there's this world voxel grid that everything lines up to. You know what I mean? Well, if you did automated testing, oh, detention for you, Hasty. Extra homework. Turn your textbook to page 137 and start the worksheet. If I did automated testing, all of my problems would be solved. But anyways, this is really cool. I guess I need to only do it on buildings and terrain though. I need to get rid of world dynamic and static for now. If you make some instances of that with fire or goo, that would be fucking amazing. Yeah, you'll love my goo too, Turning Cog, whenever it finally comes. But yeah, that kind of like, it could even be like, you know, like a Zerg creep as well. or just some like curse or decay, you know, some decrepit, spready nature shit. I love this though. This is gonna be so useful in the future. Yeah, the Craigasm was the proper response. That was the proper emote response. The automated test guy sure created some lore in the channel, I know. Big meme. Okay, but yeah, see, so now it only does terrain now. Terrain or buildings. That's fucking sick though. Okay. So let's do a building test now. Welcome in, No Metal. Yamio as well. How you guys doing? Oh, don't I need to like unfuck the stairs here. I put those the wrong way. I need to work on the shader because it's kind of hard to see in this level. Have you heard of YVO 3D AI? No, I have not. Are you using MVVM in your project? I have no idea what that means, so probably not. Probably not. That's not what I wanted. I couldn't see it though. That's why. Okay. Mostly lurking in the shadows while working. Yeah, that's I think probably the mostly how people use Twitch. Imagine working on a holiday. I assume Hasty loves what he does. Or not Hasty, fucking Middle. Wrong person. Otherwise he probably wouldn't. It's a plugin to work with data in user widgets. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar. I am unfamiliar. Chat is just one entity. Hey, at least I don't call you guys chat all the time. Like, do you guys like that when a streamer calls people chat? I mean, I get when you're a bigger. Oh God, look at that. That's crazy. When you are a bigger streamer, I get it. And you know what? This could also be used to define rooms as well. The same, similar Entity 83 you can call. Oh yes, Entity 83. I remember when you were born, Entity 83. When you were spawned from the Entity spawner config. But yeah, this could also be used to define rooms, I think. Or like a similar, I guess I would need to fill in. I would need to fill in the space. I spend my holidays in UE as my hobby too. Yeah, I love doing game dev, so I never feel like I need like a break. Really, it's really just on a daily basis. I just like, oh yeah, I've done enough today. Like, I never wake up and like, oh, I really don't feel like doing game dev today. It's everything else in life that I don't feel like doing. But that's going great. Let's do this. We're gonna start. We'll start on that corner. And we're gonna go out to the terrain and see how that looks. Bruh, look at that, dude. I've encapsulated the whole and the window. That's so cute. I'm surprised at how fast these dynamic meshes build too. And like, I should probably run a simplify operation on it because there's a lot of vertices that we just straight up don't need, right? To assign houses to NPCs. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I need to define rooms because like in RimWorld, different rooms have like different stats, and like when you place like a workbench, like a workbench in a room, it becomes like a workshop room. And then it's not like a bed. If there's a bed in there, it's not a bedroom, it's a workshop, and so you don't get the bonuses from a bedroom. And so I want that kind of stuff. And then like you can put like decorations in the rooms and stuff, and that makes the room nicer. And then the room size as well, like people don't want to feel too cramped. Good thing about game dev is there are as many places to explore, so at work I interact with some parts of the engine, and in my personal time I do something very different. I never get tired of it. Yeah. If I get frustrated with something, or I'm just, you know, not making good progress, I need a break, I can just switch to something else, you know, some other system. You can even switch disciplines altogether, you know. Maybe I'll switch to the game design aspect of it, you know. But this algorithm is so fucking cool. I fucking love, what do I call this? Like voxelify surface voxelify. I want to see this backfire on you and the NPCs end up walking on the scene. Well, the thing is, like, the nav mesh is still there, right? Oh, and I guess I need the dynamic mesh to not, what is the collision on the dynamic mesh, actually? But yeah, they still just walk on the... It's marked as no collision. But yet it is marked as blocking. What? What? Start from out here. We got some Brazil representation in the chat. Okay. Cool. Do you still... Oh, we turn collision enabled on. Right. Why? Wait, why? Oh, that's on the static. I clicked on the static mesh. Okay, it's set to no collision. Okay, now I think the nav mesh is just... is not responding. Today's a happy day for me. Learn new tricks to tame the motion matching beast, and it's working. It's working. That is a happy day. Good for you. I'm not envious of you though. Okay, so yeah, now it's properly not like updating navigation and stuff. So let's make sure the collision settings are on there properly. I don't even know if I need build collision anymore because of this dynamic mesh component. Can character step up on? No. Generate overlap events? No. Cast shadow? No. 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 Anything else I want to take off there? Dynamic draw. That do not change most frames. Sure. Static draw sounds good. Enable ray tracing. Yeah, I don't think I need that. Okay, I'm gonna run like a simplify operation on the mesh as well, and we'll see what happens. View geometry, script, simplify, mesh simplify functions, simplify to planar. Yes, I think that's the one I want. Dynamic mesh, and then what options, objects do I need? Of course, I can't copy it from there. Thank you. The simp options. What are my simp options? Angle, threshold, auto, compact. What are the defaults for those? We'll just, those seem like reasonable defaults, so we'll stick with that. Tricky to make it do what you want sometimes, since it picks from databases and some poses start to interfere with each other. That seems like a nightmare in my world, because I'm not good at animation. Especially blending and transitions and stuff. Oh shit, I'm supposed to be putting ribs on the fucking smoker now. Oops, okay. So we're gonna test this real quick. Okay, so the simplify did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. To tolerance. To target tolerance. Planar regions are identified by comparison of face normals using an angle threshold in the options. Do I just need a higher threshold? Because like they're all, like they should be flat, right? Girl, get at me. What is that? What is that? What did you say in Turning Cog? What is that from? Okay, yeah, that's literally not doing anything. That is literally not doing anything. Simp. Do polygroup topology. Vertex count, triangle count. It's just a random emote I was skipped. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look into that later. So I'm gonna hop off for the day. Short stream. I'm very happy with the progress though, despite such a short stream. This is actually really fucking cool. Really fucking cool. Okay, but thanks everyone. Let's see, is there anyone to raid real quick here? Who's doing game dev? Polar Robin, cool. He's working on like a rhythmic tower defense VR game in Unreal Engine. So I'm gonna send you guys over there while I get out of here. Yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. Happy July 4th. Happy Boom Boom Day. Middle Turning Cog. Hasty Wasty. Yamio was in here as well. Who else is in here? Efreet Fox. Good to have you all here. Jared does his best. Jared, thank you once again. And yeah, have a good holiday, everyone. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Have a beer for me. Pour one out. Don't pour it out. Just have one. Have an extra one for me. So yeah, goodbye, everyone.